Ladies, gentlemen, furries, I am very pleased to announce that we are going to be doing a little bit longer video probably today, talking about a firearm I personally love and enjoy. I say that about a lot of firearms, but I don't carry all the firearms I say it about. There's some guns that are really great range toys, and there are some guns that are absolute beasts at everything. Today, we're taking a look at the latter. So in 1975, the CZ75 Model B, I think, was released. The gun was an absolute monster. It ended up taking the majority of the countries that adopted it by storm. It was loved, it was durable, it was accurate. It used a lot of the same features as the Browning High Power, but in a more modernized form and with a grip angle that was almost as good as the 1911. Fast forward to around the 2010s, somewhere in that era, the CZ SP-01 was released and launched onto the market. In, I believe it was 2018, 2019, I ended up getting my hands on one of the CZ SP-01s and shot it for the first time. And I absolutely fell in love with it. That is the gun we're going to be shooting and doing some reviewing today. The CZ SP-01, arguably my favorite combat handgun, bar none. So there are several different handguns, both in 9mm and 45. This is the one I choose to carry. It has a lot of good features about it. Its weight is really good. It makes it controllable. It has an 18+1 magazine capacity. Out of the box, it had tritium night sights. Comes with a 1913 rail. And with 18 round magazines, it doesn't leave a lot to be desired. The gun is a combat handgun. It's good for IPSC shooting. It's good for competition shooting of any kind. It's good for whatever you want to honestly use it for. Some people I've heard say they wouldn't carry it as a duty gun or a combat handgun because of how heavy it is. I personally don't mind that as somebody who's carried 1911s. Getting a little bit long here, let's go ahead and do some shooting. Now, something you're going to notice in a second whenever the camera is turned is we're farther back than we usually do shooting from. And that's going to really showcase this gun's accuracy. I'm going to end up doing a couple shots from different positions. I'm going to try braced. I'm going to go shooting from kneeling position and standing with this. And then we're going to move up and we'll do some faster shooting drills probably. And I'll even take a couple shots to see if we can hit the spinner. Alright guys, that was a full 18 round magazine. I got some shots on the paper from farther back. However, I moved up part way through there, getting a little bit tactical with the things. But as you can see, you got plenty of firepower at your disposal with those 18 round magazines. I had 19 in the gun that time, one in the barrel. We're gonna go up, take a couple shots of the targets, and then we'll move back to about here, reload, then we'll do some more shooting. All right guys, so we've ran dry shooting. I'm going to do a reload here, and we're going to take some more shots. Then I'm probably going to move up, take a couple more shots, and then try and do a reload while shooting. Then we'll do some more afterthoughts after I finish off the last magazine. So that was a failure to go into battery, or failure to feed. I thought we had an empty magazine. Got about 4 rounds left in the gun. So I'm gonna go ahead and shoot and move now. See if we can hit the spinner. Guys, every dog has its day. Today wasn't my best. I usually am a whole lot more accurate with this gun. We're running some Monarch 124 grain from Academy. So the stuff seems to run great, and for honestly the price point, which is 100 rounds for like 23 bucks, I don't know why you wouldn't go ahead and run it. So we've done some shooting with this. We are absolutely dry at this point. No round in the chamber, no rounds in the magazine. All magazines are empty. Kind of fumbled a little reload back there. That's why I usually like to go and carry with magazine pouches up on your belt as opposed to doing a back pocket reload. However, I'm a little out of practice, and that's how I usually conceal carry. So, practice what you preach. Train with your weapon, train how you're going to carry your weapon. Go and use that firearm. Get used to it. Get used to how you're going and carrying your store magazines. Practice reloading on the fly. So, let's talk about it a little bit. So the CZ75 SP-01, which is a mouthful, is one of my absolute favorite handguns. With its weight, with its controllability generally, and just the overall design, ergonomics, the way it fits in the hand feels great. Like I said before, I ended up getting this gun a year after it was manufactured. I bought mine in 2019. I've had it, I've shot it extensively since then. Absolutely love the gun. Up until very, very recently, this was actually both my concealed carry gun and my home defense gun. However, I had a change in thought and process December of this year, whenever there was a home invasion in Detroit, I believe it was, where the homeowner or home renter ended up having to use his self-defense handgun, which I believe was a Glock 17, to defend himself and his significant other. The homeowner ended up taking multiple rounds. His girlfriend ended up taking multiple rounds. And unfortunately, the home intruder ended up getting out of the house after taking multiple rounds and was later found at the hospital and was still alive. I don't know about y'all. I know it's kind of a sad topic, but that isn't what I want. I wouldn't never want any of my family to end up injured in a home invasion, which is terrible. So I kind of had to switch my thinking. Whenever you're out and about, a handgun is the gun that you have on you, because you typically can't conceal carry anything much larger than this. Coming back to this, absolutely love shooting this gun. It's one of my favorites. I have handed this to multiple people with its double action trigger. Unfortunately, we didn't get to show that too much, but this has one of the smoothest double action triggers I have ever felt on a double action, single action 9mm. I'm sure there's probably other guns out there that I haven't handled too much, haven't got to practice and shoot with, but this one is one of the smoothest and crispest in double action. However, I usually carry it cocked and locked because this one has a manual safety. However, you can get the CZ SP-01 with a manual decocker. So you can carry it round in the chamber, hammer down. However, with a manual safety like this, they do not recommend you drop the hammer on a live round. Don't recommend doing that on a 1911. Don't recommend doing it with one of these. So if you have to use a handgun for self-defense, this is a lot like the Beretta. I would highly, highly recommend using this, getting used to using it, getting really, really accurate and good with it. If that's what you're going to do and you can't use a rifle or a shotgun, which is what I've switched to now, a shotgun for home defense, use something like this because it is super, super easy to shoot, be accurate with, at the distances you're typically going to end up having to use a handgun at. That said, enough talking. Let's go down and take a look at the target and let's close out. So guys, we've done some shooting, we've done some accuracy, we've done a lot of enjoying. It's always great to go and on a decent day, get out and enjoy your handguns, shoot, practice, learn to be accurate with the gun that you're going to carry, whether it's a rifle, shotgun, or handgun. Accuracy matters. Always learn to use the gun that you're going to have on you whenever evil, whatever word you want to use, trouble, might come. CZ SP-01, if you ever get a chance to shoot one, highly, highly recommend it. The SIG 226, which I'm trying to get my hands on and will show here at some point, highly, highly recommend. The Beretta 92, I have a video on that. I highly encourage y'all to go and check it out. All of those are super great. Duty size, combat handguns, highly recommend them. Can't say that enough. I believe Grand Thumb ended up featuring this in a couple of his videos as far as the torture tests. It did great. Guys, it's really, really hard to beat something like this. The Smith & Wesson M&P, the SIG P226, they're great guns. I encourage you to get out. I encourage you to shoot. I encourage you to get out and touch grass. Enjoy the outdoors. If nothing else, do that. Shooting can be kind of expensive. That's why I always usually mention in my videos, you guys want to see me shoot more ammo through these guns, best way to do it is hit up my PayPal. I'm asking for donations, whatever you can give. It doesn't have to be a whole lot. If you can't give anything, please go and like and share. With that, I hope you guys enjoy your afternoons. I hope you've had a great day, and I hope you enjoyed this fun video taking a look at the CZ SP-01.